On Isaac Cruz versus Rolly Romero, this is a fight that's incredibly interesting. You two are going to be a firefight. Oh, it's going to be a firefight. Here's how Rolly Romero can win in this fight. Because he is so athletic and explosive. Yes, he is. Twitchy, fast, powerful, for all the hate that people want to throw his way. Understandably so. He's a legitimate threat. Yes, he is. And this is the biggest thing. With Isaac Cruz being an infighter, somebody who's going to push the pace, he could do what Tank did to him and counter Isaac Cruz for his own viral KO if he in fact is able to lull him into overcommitting. Pull the same trick that Tank pulled on him. Show that he learned and evolved. And then we could give him some real props, beating a real contender, being somebody who is seen as a legitimate threat, who's also been in the ring with the best of the best in Gervonta Tank Davis and put on a league's better performance than Rolly Romero did. Went the whole 12. Yes, I understand that Tank was hurt, but still, one-handed Tank still could beat most of the division. That's how good he legitimately is. We could very well see Rolly Romero pull off an upset, by KO, even on the big head of somebody like Isaac Cruz. But I don't think that's what's going to happen. And I really feel that we're going to see Isaac Cruz actually knock out Rolly Romero. Because understand this when it comes to Rolly versus Isaac Cruz. The biggest reason why Rolly shouldn't lose this fight, Rolly Romero is a two-sided coin. Both coins go on the over extreme. When it comes to pressure fighting, if Rolly feels pressured and in trouble, he will not engage. And if he does feel like, okay, yeah, I can take his power and wants to make a statement, he will overcommit, make dumb mistakes, make dumb decisions. Overextend, overcommit, punch when he doesn't need to throw, put himself off balance. Either way, there are openings and avenues for Isaac Cruz to be able to attack. And in this fight, I can most likely see Rolly Romero going into a dogfight with Isaac Cruz, making a statement by fighting him in his own wheelhouse, fighting him in his own domain, fighting him in his own jungle in terms of Isaac Cruz, getting on the inside, hooks to the body and hooks to the head. He'll play that same game with Isaac Cruz. He will go there, but it's going to backfire because of the fact that he will overextend. He will overcommit. He'll throw his punches too wide. He will throw his shots on an arc that won't be able to catch up to the tighter arcs and tighter trajectories that we'll see Isaac Cruz throw when he throws those hooks. And with Rolly Romero having to punch down on Isaac Cruz, more likely to when you're throwing and aiming down, you're really going to be left open for hooks to the temple, hooks to the chin. You're going to be open. And when you're as off balance as Rolly Romero can be, especially when he wants to really go for broke, it's a recipe for disaster that Isaac Cruz will be able to capitalize on. Now, I do think that Rolly Romero has the ability to knock him out. Yes, he does. Absolutely. Again, get him into a counter window, catch him and end it. But I think it's going to be Rolly Romero getting knocked out again, this time by Isaac Cruz. When you hook with a hooker, you're going to get done in. You're going to get caught. You're going to get blasted out the way. Especially when you're somebody who relies so much on physical traits as Rolly Romero and not enough on the actual skills and fundamentals of boxing. You are doomed to fail going up against somebody who has molded his entire strategy on working his way inside and fundamentally understands what to do when he gets there. You try to wrestle him and shake him off like you did against Yiggit, it's not going to work. You try to go and try to out-muscle him, it might not work. We know Rolly Romero, again, is a physically gifted specimen. Yes, he is. But it might not work going up against the sturdiness of somebody like Isaac Cruz. We can see Isaac Cruz being the one to push you off, though he is a smaller man. We could see Isaac Cruz being the one to muscle you around because the center of gravity is so low and he is so stocky. Pitbull personifies exactly what Isaac Cruz is. And all that talk from Rolly Romero could inevitably be shut up in one punch when it comes to Isaac Cruz. It can happen. Absolutely, it can happen. Do not be surprised if you see Isaac Cruz catch Rolly Romero. The biggest thing that I can predict, we see Rolly Romero, because Cruz is a smaller fighter, because Rolly Romero relies on his athleticism so much, and is going to believe that he is going to be the bigger man. He will be. But he believes that he'll be able to fight like the bigger man. He will come in reckless. He will come in guns blazing. He will fight Isaac Cruz's game. And he'll get dropped. And he'll get ended and he'll get knocked out. Now, if he fights with his range and uses his power of straights instead of trying to hook with Isaac Cruz, now we can see a different story. But I think the pride of Rolly Romero is going to be something that takes over him. It's going to be his downfall. It's going to be the very thing that drives him to the mat, not drives him to victory. I understand that his talent is raw, but good. The issue is pride plus raw talent without technique isn't something that spells a good recipe. Especially when you're going up against somebody who, again, against the highest of talent. The very same talent that you faced in Tank Davis, if you're Rolly Romero, he put on a league's better performance. League's better. Better defensively, more meticulous offensively, gave an above and beyond showing. He understands what it takes. Rolly Romero had his moments, but he let himself get reckless. Isaac Cruz didn't do that. Isaac Cruz isn't going to do that in this fight. We're going to see Isaac Cruz knock out Rolly Romero. Most likely in 7, but it could be as early as 3. It could very well be as early as 3. If that happens, hey, that could set up another rematch for potentially Gervonta Tank Davis and Isaac Cruz again, which I would love to see. I would enjoy seeing that fight. But this is the real call for Rolly Romero. In terms of your stardom at the top, this fight's going to really prove whether or not you are or are not deserving of that, not only that opportunity again, but the cachet that your name currently brings. Because you're facing an opponent who's faced the same opponent you face. Now, we've seen the results of what happened when you and him face Tank. If you lose to him, now where you are in terms of the totem pole of hierarchy, the food chain of boxing, is going to be something detrimental, incredibly detrimental for you, if you in fact do lose this fight. It's all on the line. And I expect him to fail. Because I don't think he will be able to let himself control himself when it comes to trying to fight against Isaac Cruz. Rolly will want to fight his fight. Rolly will want to get aggressive. Rolly will want to try to get him out of there. And because of that, on the recklessness on top of the lack of technique, he's going to be overwhelmed and done in when he fights on the inside. I think he's going to be knocked out.